how we make our decisions is listening to the community, because you're our eyes and ears. We can't be everywhere all the time. So if we don't have the camaraderie and the people talking to us, then we're sort of doing things blind, and that's not what I want. I want us to police by consent.
This podcast is proudly supported by the Ōtara Network Action Committee, ōNAC, community-owned, community-driven and community-led.
Kia ora koutou katoa. It's Judy back again with the We Are Ōtara podcast. We're so happy to be here, and today I've got a really amazing return guest. We've got Rod Honan, who is our area commander here at Counties Manukau for the New Zealand Police. And Rod, thank you so much for coming back again. It shows how much fun it was last time, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a chat about what we might talk about. I think, you know, if we just stick with that structure that we're talking about, what do you think since your appointment? When was that? Was at the end of 22, was it?
No, it's just been a year.
A year now.
Yeah.
So it's nice to do. Happy birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It seems like a very
time
long
flies
time,
when you're having
doesn't
fun.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, you know, when I think back over that last year, it was a real highlight for me to get that certificate from you, and
It's well deserved.
well, it was a very special thing, really. I mean, we think we work in the shadows, you know.
Yeah, well, you lead quite a good team,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
You're a fantastic team.
Yeah. So you're the figurehead, I guess, for the team, but
Well, that's very much how we operate.
yeah. So it wasn't a hard decision to make, Judy. You do a lot of great stuff in the community, so well done.
Oh, thank you for that. It was, yeah, as I said, very special. So if we think, I mean, apart from us meeting on the stage, highlight of my year, the things that you've been focusing on, like was looking in the media, you know, there was the whole dreadful time that we've had around, you know, these kids ram-raiding, which it just, because of the, you know, the age is quite personal, I suppose, to us both, because we both work with youth, and yeah, and then that whole just general crime scenario. Those have been generally your priorities.
Yeah, they have. And like you say, with the age of the kids, it's hard to get traction at times, but we're working with some pretty good service providers as well, like yourselves. And I think the key is to remain positive with the kids. Don't write them off. I mean, they are young. Their brains are still developing. So if we can work with the whānau and try different things rather than trying to arrest our way out of the problem, then I think we're going to be in a better space. And there's some of the other programs we've got going, they're really positive. We've just had some graduations for young men, and the success rate in those programs are really good, and so successful that the younger brothers are now doing the courses. So they're saying...
What courses are they? Can you tell us a bit about?
Yeah, it's with Blueprints and Blue Light. It's a mentoring program they go on, and through that it's... I'm not actually sure of the total figures, but to see the younger siblings come through and remove themselves from crime, it's a positive thing. And we don't lead those, but we're there to support. I always go to the openings of the courses and speak to the whānau and the boys, and just basically just show them that, you know, the police are here to support. We are police officers, but we're also dads, brothers, uncles. So trying to personalise our interaction with them, so we're not just that organisation that they see and have negative views of.
Okay, I mean, I'm just reflecting back there to, in that approach, which is about focusing on individuals, and bringing them and showing each creating real relationships with individuals, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that was really where we landed. We had that the community-led group with ōNAC and the community leaders coming together to talk about how we can work more effectively in terms of engagement around large community events like tangi and others. And that was the thing that was, to me, the major gain of our conversation. It's about, people, and I won't name them, but they were saying, well, that guy is, my nephew, and, that person's my brother. And so, this is not gangs, it's individuals, brothers, nephews, fathers, husbands. And if we engage collectively as a community with brothers and fathers and husbands, it builds those stronger bonds, and you don't get what can end up as mob mentality.
Yeah, and for us too, it's a balance of, and you mentioned tangi and tangihana, and we've got to remember they are a human being, and they do have whānau, and the whānau have a right to grieve and have the tangihana process. But at the same time, we have members of the public that see some of the antisocial behaviour that some of those people attract, and it's a balance for us and a safety thing for us too, because sometimes we can be grossly outnumbered, so it's a matter
as
of...
you were at the recent event.
Yeah,
and yet it was highly effective, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so we're moving away from acting at the time. So what we're doing, gaining evidence, whether it's video or whether eagles flying over, then we collate all the evidence and then go and do the investigation phase in a much more safer environment.
And outside the grieving environment.
Absolutely, yeah.
So safer for everybody, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And positive steps forward.
Yeah, and just the last couple of gang tangis or gang persons that were in the gang that had the tangi, some of the whānau feedback has been quite positive with us, whereas possibly in the past, not so.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we can only look forward to as a community. And if I think, that the extent of our aspiration for change is limited to Ōtara, we've got a bit of a broader barriers. But if you find models that work, and you've got community leaders that will sit around a table and discuss approaches like that, it can be really, really effective. Yeah, and that's my role as the area commander, is to meet with those people and talk about where we've been. We talk about now and where we're going to with that. Because we're always learning. We've learned from the past, and as I said, we can't arrest our way out of everything. No. So we've got to try different things. It's a really destructive approach too, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. People in
There's been generations of whānau that, or families that have only seen us in a negative light. So, we're all about trying something different, trying something positive, and we're never going to please everybody, but if we can tip the balance with positivity, then it's a win.
And I see that kaupapa extending, not just with, strategies or tactics, I suppose, but also on the ground with your local team. I mean, we value highly that opportunity for Sergeant Richard to walk in here and g'day, whoever, and have a joke about things too. I mean, I'm still laughing about a photo of them with a tomato plant, and the young man is so proud of his garden. Anyway.
So that's the thing. That person doesn't see us as just a uniform.
No, he doesn't. No. And in fact, his sister came to me just this week on Monday and said, I've decided I want to be a policewoman. And I went, okay.
Well done.
And she said, do you know who inspired her?
Sergeant Richard.
Yes.
He's a good
Isn't
man.
That beautiful?
He's a good man.
I haven't had the chance to tell him that. I was going to text him, but so I've talked to a few people about good pathways, and maybe that's a nice thing. We talk about that now too. So pathways for our local youth. So we turn their heads in the other direction. They think, let's create peace, harmony, and good things in our community, and they go, gosh, I'd like to do that as a police person because they've met these amazing cops that come around here.
Yeah.
So.
That's why I'm passionate about our teams going to the community days. Yeah. And we never got it off the ground, but our league game, touch game.
On.
Yes. So we're very much keen to have a crack at that. Yeah. And we need to do things like that.
First, whānau. we're playing league.
So we need to do things like that.
Yeah.
And because at the moment we're down in numbers across the board.
Yeah.
So anything we can do to get some recruiting through, and it's always great to have local people coming through the doors.
Yeah. Well, you look at your own local queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're very lucky with Ms. Clark.
Absolutely.
Acting
Sergeant. Constable. But local knowledge, local connections, and you can turn that into a positive as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we see her do that every day.
Yeah.
She's done some incredible work in really difficult scenarios, and we haven't talked about that, but I remember she was supporting witnesses, supporting individuals in different ways, and she's just so calm and matter of fact and amazing woman.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's part of our rangatahi's vision as well. So let's pretend we've got 5 young people here, and they're rangatahi, so they're like maybe late teens, early 20s. They might have left school early, maybe not. Not a lot of kids finish year 13 with a lot of glamour these days. So maybe not, but maybe NCA level 1 or 2. How do they approach going into the police force?
There's always plenty of things online. The New Cops website.
Yep.
Also, we're looking at doing sort of pop-up stands at community events. So if they want to come along to those events, we'll have the recruiting specialist there, and they can take away some brochures and have a look. Or you can show my age now, taking away brochures, but everything's online.
A bit hard to navigate though, because that's what we were doing on Monday this week, was trying to navigate where to go and what sort of courses there were. Because I think what my whakaaro is anyway is that sometimes we just need to, if we've had no time in school for a few years now, need to jumpstart that learning process and the discipline, probably most of all the discipline, before we even start about dreaming of a blue uniform.
And there's a couple of pre-police courses, facilitators around, but everything's on the website.
So if we go in through new Cops, is that the place to go, and then we've got the preferred providers for those programs?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
so
we'll do
it's...
that.
And talk to our guys. I'm always... making sure that the team are spending time in our town centres, because that's one of my kaupapa is to have safer town centres. So it's basically Rich and the team most of the time.
Well, they're doing pretty well now. I think Anson's numbers this month were, this month were, I think, some quite good town centre apprehension. It's
once again, it's not about apprehension as well. It's about the being part of the community, and just when you do walk around the streets, that's when the people come and talk to you. And it's not being a ŌNAC, it's striking up a conversation, and that's when you learn a bit about us. We learn a bit about you,
but you're a person instead of being.
Yeah. And that's when the conversations can go along the lines of, have you ever thought of becoming a police officer? I mean, I think the starting salary is still about 76,000, so it's not a bad salary to start. And a free trip to Club Med Porirua for 6 months.
Yeah, where you get 3 meals a day.
3 very big meals a day.
And get fit as well.
And get fit.
I mean, who'd want to go to pay to go to Outward Bound?
Absolutely.
An outcome. And a job at the end.
So do
most people make it through the Porirua training?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they've... once again, they've looked at the adult education, and it's not all death by PowerPoint or what I was used to when I was at school and went through police college. It was basically classroom taught, where now there's a lot more scenario based. They're out in the community a lot earlier, so they'll learn in the classroom, then go out and do scenarios, or then they'll go out. So when I went through, it was very much classroom A, B, C, then you sat a test, D, E, F, you sat a test, and then, right, you've now graduated. Whereas...
And you're chucked into the street as a newbie.
Yeah, here's your car keys, help yourself. So...
don't forget to look up the guns.
Yeah, well, didn't have as many in those days either, but It's much different. The adult learning environment's a lot better.
Well, it gets a much better spread of candidates too, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've worked out that not everybody is the same. So I learn differently to you. I'm not that good at reading. I get a bit bored quickly. So, if I get given a book and told to read 100 pages and there's a test in the morning, then I'm going to struggle. But if I was to watch something on TV, an instructional video, then I would take that in more. And that's just an example.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, those are, in terms of like that approach, taking it, saying, we need our police force to look a bit different, we need to have different people with different views. And so how do we go about doing that and being so intentional? Because I struggle with mainstream education for many of our kids is just not fitting, and I'm trying to work out what those numbers are, and I think I just don't even want to think about the big picture about kids not engaged. But we've managed over 2 years to get 3 children that went to school doing something, but there should have been 5 or 6, and that doesn't sound like much, but at least if we can create a system, it works really well. But
I think we were a lot better with our support for our new probationary constables as well. And we've got field training officers that are their mentors.
Oh, that's wonderful, yeah. So it works like with counselling, the same kind of thing.
Yeah, and they have to make sure that our people are learning the right techniques, because the last thing you want to do is learn shortcuts off shortcuts, and that's when mistakes are made. But the mentoring system is going well. We have Pacifica leaders that come to the station as well and help our Pacifica people out. The whole demographic of our police station is so different to what it was when I first joined, and with the amount of different people we have in Tamaki Makaurau now, we need to be diverse. Absolutely. Yeah.
I wasn't aware until the community leaders meeting that we had a police team too, so Shah, she came, and it was wonderful to meet her, because they'd all been there working collectively. But out here in community world, I wasn't aware that they were a completely different team. Yeah,
so we have the Māori team, but we have the Pacifica team and the Ethnic Services team. So that's the Asians and Southeast Asian community.
And people sashay through there on their way to the next post, do they? So
it's optional. But some people, that's their path, that's their gift, that's their passion.
Well, certainly that's how it seemed to be for that remarkable woman the other day.
Shah is fantastic.
She's amazing.
Yeah, and a local girl.
Yeah, she said.
So,
incredible. Yeah. But all the grunt of a career, which is, I love that emerging. I find it inspiring and encouraging.
Yeah.
But still proudly wearing her uniform.
Absolutely. Yeah. And once again, a very busy mother and wife, and has interests outside work, but spends a great deal of time at work doing amazing things with our community. That
would be the other thing that I've observed as we've worked more closely with you and your teams is I can see that the police force seems to be. We still talk about the police force, do we?
New Zealand Police.
NZ Police. NZ Police are a lot more intentional about giving people time off, and people understand that. I've come from that generation that just worked till they drop, and I still do it, and I'll probably be doing it when they pop me in the week off.
Yeah.
But here you've got a whole organisation that's supporting people to be well. You were unwell recently, and then and you were given the opportunity, if only that damn woman from me sitting there, I'll stop emailing you, but given you that opportunity to step back and know that someone was there to look after your role.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some really important corporate culture for us to learn, particularly in the private sector, about how we do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Our people are our greatest investment, so we've got to look after our people, and everybody has an outside interest, the mums, dads, caregivers. So when you do come out of police college, you go to front line, so you're working the 2 2-2-2 roster, earlies, lates and nights. So 6 days on, 4 days off. But once you get your permanent appointment, once you finish all your probationary modules, then you can work for other squads and teams like Sergeant Richard's team. That said, you don't always have to stay the whole time when you're a probation or constable. You can move to other teams like Serena's done.
How long is the probation?
2 years.
2 years,
Yeah, but shift work can be a bit taxing for some people. So
especially if they've got families, I guess, too.
Absolutely. Nothing worse than having a young baby when you've finished a night shift and baby won't settle. And
this is the wet voice of experience.
Yeah. Mum's trying to get out the door to go to work. So.
Well, same for everybody, really. Though, vivid memories of that.
Yeah.
Don't touch me! I've got my suit on.
Yeah.
I've got my mummy clothes on now.
Yeah. Your badge of honour, the old.
The vomit on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked very, very nice with all those stars.
Yeah. Yeah. Distant memory for me.
It is,
but no, we do have to look after our people.
Yeah,
and,
we do. But you're doing it, is what I'm saying. And lots of organisations say we're looking after our people. I see it, and I've seen people getting tight on the bandwidth. Not that you really see it as a public, but you can see when people, and we feel it too, I think. And then next they're on leave, and wow, how incredible.
Yeah.
And you don't think you got chicken. Sorry, I won't say that.
We've got
You know why people get some sicknesses.
Yeah, stress.
Yes, that's
yes. So it's all about just looking after our team. That part of our leadership meeting is looking at our team. Who's getting the wobbles? Who's
that's
off
the
their game?
That we're talking about.
Because they're working in some pretty high pressure situations sometimes.
Yeah, and we don't see that, but
no, and if you're not coming to work fully 100% healthy, then that's when mistakes get made.
But especially when you're a bit light with resources, so it's that balance, isn't it? That must be very frightening, is it? With increasing seniority too.
Yeah. I mean, with the economy the way it is, and people in the private sector are starting to lose jobs, that's when we generally see an uptake in police recruitment. People that have always wanted to be police suddenly go through the pipeline, so I'd like to think that's going to happen. We're not seeing it yet, but we've got initiatives underway, like we talked about, so
Wondering if we might be able to support some sort of community police recruitment thing. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, just
even just
the street or the local area parties and functions you have. It's more than happy to send the team along with the recruiting specialists.
Well, even in the pouring rain on that Children's Day.
Yeah.
The immortal Sergeant Richard turned up in the rain.
Yeah, what a good man.
The fire brigade had been and gone, and he was still there helping us.
Yeah, he's a good man.
He is a good man, but he's not much good to you if he gets the flu.
No.
Yeah. I don't think anyone got the flu from that day. Yes, and I think that whole seamless integration. So I will be purposeful in trying to hunt down some young, interesting people with light in their eyes and their hearts that might be interested to go with our first candidate off the block.
Yeah, that'd be great.
How about you? Do you want to be a cop? Okay, that's
not just yet, he said.
For the audience on the other side of the camera, yes, that was our famous podcaster and videographer, Vincent, who was saying, yes, pick me!
No, I'm sorry. I had a cough.
Yeah.
So let's move into what we might talk about right now is like things that are in your heart. So I've read in the budget and I've heard the lovely Nicola tell us that there is going to be more money for the police, more money for frontline officers, more money for whatever. But that was one of the things that was leaked, wasn't it? Just supporting the disabled, supporting the police. So in the event that happens, what does that look like? Is that something we can talk about?
That's no, because the budget comes out this afternoon. Okay. So we're all probably as we're speaking now. But we're all interested to see what the government can do. we're always interested to see what the government can support us, because that's our funding stream. But we're not doing too bad in terms of this area. Equipment wise, we've got everything we need. We could do with some more staff, but the people that we've got there are going well, and they're not showing signs of burnout that I can see. And with rotations around the different teams and giving everyone a chance at different things, then we're not in a bad space.
Yeah. So the rotations is as much of a sort of a rest as a different look.
Absolutely.
It gives you a rest.
And it builds their skill set as well. So they go off to the different teams, learn different things, and then they either return to where they come from or move off to somewhere like the detectives, the CIB and things like that. They might suddenly open the door that they want to become a detective.
So there's an active process all the time for promotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've got a development framework. We have what we call the Police High Performance Framework, where we have our development plans. We've got our yearly plans. So it starts from up at headquarters. The Commissioner has his template that he has his vision and views, and we follow them down to area. And
presumably collectively form the vision and views.
100%, so when it comes down to area, then we've got an idea of what's happening at headquarters, where we're going, and then how do we fit that into our business in a local sense.
And you're left as an area commander to create that vision collectively with your team.
Yeah, with my leadership team.
Well, that's really helpful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So your leadership team are at what sort of level? You don't need to tell me the people, but just that they can
Senior sergeant and inspectors.
Yeah.
So what have I got? 6 in my leadership team for the area.
So that's really helpful. And and then knowing who some of those people are, I see like the community leaders meeting, that the full support of that from a number of your people, but the leadership from at the inspector level, and then and how useful that is.
Well, the key to how we make our decisions is listening to the community, because you're our eyes and ears. We can't be everywhere all the time. So if we don't have the camaraderie and the people talking to us, then we're sort of doing things blind, and that's not what I want. I want us to police by consent. But once again, we're not going to please everybody all the time.
Well, particularly if you draw your income from nefarious purposes or activities.
Yes. But we police by consent, so we have to have the community on board for us to achieve what we want to achieve, and it's not so much us telling the community what to do. Well, we have to follow statute, of course, but if we can work with the community, listen to the community, and come up with the game plan together, then it's going to be implemented.
It's a collective, Because in reality, no one wants their child to become a drug dealer or a murderer, and no young person wants to grow up really like that either. I don't know. It's only that was something else that came out of that meeting, but I've always believed that too. It's about hope. If you've got hope, then you wouldn't take a destructive path. And it's only in the absence of hope that people step down from that, perhaps. I mean, that sounds very simplistic, I know. But.
Yeah, and if you look at the team we've got in this area, we all come from different backgrounds, and but we all join the police to make a difference and be part of the community. Some of, I'm not sure of the actual percentage, but some of our people actually live in the community and are part of the community. Some have been to school in this community. They love it. And if I was to say to them tomorrow, well, you're off down to Manarewa, they would be devastated. Because they're engaged, and they want to do good things.
But it's about building those long-term relationships too, I think. I mean, we miss some of the people that have left you already, and I'm sure we'll get over it in time, and as new people are coming in, you've got some great new guys coming in, but still when you think about Ninja, we miss Ninja. I hope he's having a nice time in Youth Aid. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And you had another amazing policewoman, can't remember her name now, but she was amazing, just remarkable. And she and Serena, of course, were like, the powerhouse.
Yeah. Yeah,
but they have to move on, we understand.
Yeah, it's for their development as well. And sometimes it gets to the point where you can't see the wood from the trees, so you need fresh eyes to come in and see what we're doing, and working with the likes of yourselves. Are we doing the right thing? Should we be using our energy in other areas?
Well, just a classic example of that, I guess, is like, the work that we've been doing with your team and the graffiti. And, some contractors came in that were brought in by central government, and they slapped some paint around the place and walked off, and then the next day that was tagged again. The kids went up there with your team, put some more paint around the place, and this morning's the first time I've seen anything in a month. So I think, if nothing else, let's use some local kids to and not become, don't become the graffiti artist, become the graffiti fixer, the beautification specialist.
Yeah, and it's pride too. I mean, the kids take pride in the work they're doing and beautifying the town centre. So
just the graffiti looks so ghastly when you come into town, and I think we all felt really upset about the whole thing. Really, including our MP. Anyway, she's very happy that we painted it out too.
Nice.
So we've just had permission last night to move into the next phase where we'll do murals in the next holidays, working with, I can't say yet because it's not public, but we know that the whole vision is how do we work with the greatness of Ōtara to embed that in everything we do, and what a wonderful opportunity to do that in some artwork that will welcome people to Ōtara. So, thinking that I know you've got a day job, oddly enough. Is there anything you want to talk about in closing?
I'm just really pleased with how the team are going. I'm not saying there was anything wrong before I arrived, but I see what we do, and I see the engagement we're getting. Our school community officers and youth engagement and the youth aid team are doing an amazing job with our young, and the benefits are there, but it's a long game. We're not going to fix everything overnight. And
some parts of the machine aren't working quite as well as you, but I've seen that some of those youth aid officers are amazing people. And, and the meetings with OT have been quite an eye opener for me to see the strength and the courage and from people that we didn't know. And
I just want the community to remember that we're human as well, and we're not going to get everything 100% correct 100% of the time. So, just have patience with us, and if there are problems in the community, I'm always available. If you need to chat, come to Ormiston Station. That's where I am, at Ormiston Road. I just want to be available to the community if they need me. Moving forward, I've still got some work to do with connections with some groups. I'd like to work better with some of the senior schools around the area. We do all right with our community partners, and you're one of our people that come to our community meetings every month. But yeah, working with iwi, looking at our relationships, how we can work collaboratively together. We've got some massive churches in the area I have not had anything to do with, so I would like to meet those in charge and see how we can work together.
The church leaders were represented at that meeting yesterday, actually. So there's a group of pastors across Ōtara that they were part of a formal organisation, and I can't even tell you I can tell you what it's called, but it doesn't matter. But we can put you in touch with them.
Fantastic.
Because, they were. There were 5 or 6 of them present, and their chairman was present as well. She's an active pastor.
Wow.
and they were very insightful in visionary. Actually, it was
Yeah, because I
quite
mean, their
exciting.
reach in the community is massive.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'd like to head for the next year.
So schools, iwi, churches, churches, Pacific leaders, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just about to come to our year end. The police year goes from the 1st of July to 30 June.
Big surprise.
Yeah. So we so this year ends, and then when we kick off into July, that's going to be my personal focus. It's just being more visible, more out and about. I'm not one to sit in front of the computer if I can help it, so I like to get out.
You'd have to read it.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's what I think we're going to look at next year.
That's very exciting. Well, let's do some of that together.
We shall.
Okay.
We shall.
Ngā mihi no whānau, kia ora rā. This is the end of our conversation, and Rod, really it's been fantastic talking to you, and
Thank you
I
for
really
having me.
appreciate your openness and your willingness to share how it really is. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, okay, it's annual date with gluten-free cake.